Prologue. I had been in a hidden marriage with the best actor for 5 years. He was always surrounded by scandals. Yet he never once wanted to make our relationship public. On a variety show, the others probed me about whether I'd ever been in a relationship. Even he smiled and said, "Amanda, I know plenty of reliable men. Should I introduce one to you?" In my previous life, on this very day, I had lost my temper and taken out our wedding ring. The trending young actress Celine had burst into tears and run out. Zack didn't say anything at the time, but afterwards he grew colder and colder toward me. When I had a massive hemorrhage during pregnancy and was rushed into the operating room, he didn't even check on me. He was busy celebrating Celine's birthday at a Michelin-starred restaurant. When thugs hired by Celine destroyed my innocence and I turned to him for help, he merely watched with indifference. It was then I realized, in his eyes, I was nothing more than a shameful ornament, something to be kept in the dark. In this life, I simply smiled and said, "Yes, I have." He's not in the industry. We're getting married at the end of this month. Chapter 1. Gasps erupted all around. No one had expected me to publicly reveal my relationship on the show. Zack's face darkened instantly, the glass in his hand bending out of shape under his grip. He looked like he wanted to say something. But seated beside him, the bright and radiant Celine batted her eyes first. "Wow, Amanda, you've been hiding it so well. If it weren't for losing this round of truth or dare, were you planning to keep it from us forever?" It was a live broadcast, and her words instantly set off waves in the live stream chat. "Amanda's fans must be miserable. Your idols abandoned you for a relationship. Hee. Our Celine's the best, focused on her career. Ambitious. No time for men. Why would we be miserable? Amanda's an actress. She wins us over with her acting. She's already taken the grand slam of awards. What's wrong with dating?" Meanwhile, Celine hasn't even made a name for herself yet. Besides, Amanda's always said that when the time comes, she'll find someone. I smiled faintly. I may have hidden it, but I am the rightful wife. In my previous life, I had always thought Celine didn't know about my relationship with Zack. That she, too, had been deceived. But just before my death, Celine had come to flaunt Zack's love for her. And I finally learned she had known all along. Celine's expression shifted, but the other guests didn't notice. Instead, they looked at me with curiosity. "Amanda, who is he? Do you have a photo? A man worthy of Amanda and outside the industry? I'm dying to know." I smiled. "He doesn't like being in the spotlight. I'll introduce him to you another time." Just as I finished, a derisive laugh sounded. Celine raised an eyebrow, her eyes full of provocation. "Amanda, don't tell me this guy doesn't even exist, and you're just making him up. After all, you're not exactly young anymore. If you still don't have someone close to you, it's pretty embarrassing. Isn't that right, Zack?" She blinked at Zack and playfully stuck out her tongue. I clenched my fists, and the next second, I heard Zack cooperate with her perfectly with a short Celine's smile widened in triumph. I felt a sting of self-mockery. A moment ago, I had still been expecting something. How ridiculous. The other guests tried to smooth things over. "Amanda, don't be mad, Celine's just joking. This is Amanda's private life. We shouldn't pry." I was about to speak when a man's voice rang out at the door. "Excuse me, is Amanda here? I'm here to pick her up from work." Chapter 2. Everyone turned toward the voice. A young man stood at the doorway, one hand casually in his pocket. His sleek black hair had a slight wave brushing his forehead, his brow ridge sharp as a carved ridge, his complexion pale yet strikingly handsome. When our eyes met, I froze for a moment. He smiled at me. "Amanda, time to get off work." The live stream exploded. "Holy crap, this guy's hot. Is he Amanda's non-industry boyfriend? No way. I thought Amanda was making it up. Didn't expect her boyfriend to show up to pick her up." I stood from my chair, nodded to everyone. "I'll be heading out first." From the moment I stood, I felt a pair of eyes boring into me. I didn't look back. Just as I was about to step out, Zack's cold voice called after me. "Amanda." I paused, turned to him. "What is it?" His face was grim, his eyes filled with displeasure. Celine curved her lips at me. "Today's my birthday party. Zack's throwing it for me. Are you coming?" I glanced at Zack. He said nothing. No. I withdrew my gaze and walked out. Happy birthday. I have other plans. Chapter 3. That gaze on my back didn't vanish until I sat down in the back seat of the car. I looked at the man beside me and thanked him. Thank you, Junior, Bruno said. No need to be polite, Senior. I was just watching the live stream and happened to be passing by. I smiled faintly, not pressing further. He didn't ask me anything either. Only said, "Where to now? I'll give you a ride." I gave him my home address. We arrived quickly. Just before I got out, Bruno lifted his phone and waved it at me. Add me? I hesitated for a moment. He chuckled softly. Who knows, maybe someday I'll need your help too. Hearing that, I nodded, taking out my phone. All right. After we exchanged contacts, Bruno drove off. I turned and walked into my house. This place was one Zack and I had bought before marriage. It wasn't big, but it carried our shared memories. Back then, whenever I didn't have a work schedule, we'd curl up here together, playing games and binge-watching dramas. After marriage, I never changed homes. But now, Zack rarely came back. Just as I stepped inside, my agent called. Check the trending searches, quick. Chapter 4. #Zack x Celine, officially announced. What a perfect match. I thought that, having been reborn, I'd be able to face anything with a calm heart. But the short lines on the screen still stabbed at my eyes. Zack, let me introduce my girlfriend, the only one. Celine. Celine, the days ahead are long. From now on, I'll be walking them with Mr. Zack. Zack and I had dated for 5 years, been married for another 5. I'd waited 10 years for this public announcement. And now, Zack handed it to someone else, so easily. My agent's voice went on. There are rumors online that Celine's been the other woman for someone else, and Zack's stepping in to protect her. It's infuriating, but isn't Celine exactly that? You and Zack have been married for years, and you haven't even, Monica. I cut her off softly and asked, when will the visa be ready? She fell silent. You've decided to quit the industry and go abroad? I nodded. 10 years ago, I had given up my dream for Zack. Now, I would never again let him delay my life. Chapter 5. Zack and I were childhood sweethearts, growing up together. When I was little, my parents died. I became shy and withdrawn, living under someone else's roof, often bullied by the neighborhood kids. Zack would always step in front of me, shielding me and standing up for me. Then, at 15, his parents went bankrupt and jumped to their deaths, leaving him completely alone, saddled with enormous debt. The blow nearly crushed him more than once. He wanted to end it all. I was the one who held him, comforting him. We were each other's light in the darkness, relying on one another to survive. At 18, I received an offer from University A overseas, my lifelong dream school. That day, Zack didn't say a word. He just held my hand, eyes red, standing there the whole night. The next morning, I turned down the acceptance letter and instead accepted a talent scout's invitation to enter the entertainment industry. I wanted to pay off Zack's debts. He was still young. His future was ahead of him. He couldn't be shackled by debt. But the industry wasn't easy. I auditioned and filmed day and night, taking every job I could get. I drank so much at business dinners I vomited blood. Finally, in my 5th year after debut, I became popular from a drama and paid off his family's debt. People around me would ask if it was worth it. At the time, I'd look at Zack, cooking for me every day, staying by my side, and think it was. But now, the alert on my phone cut through my thoughts. It was a call from Zack. I thought for a moment before answering. His voice was cool, quite capable now. Aren't you? Learning to get other men to act with you, trying to piss me off? But you miscalculated. I know your love for me best. I'm not the least bit angry. I stayed silent. Then a familiar female voice came from the background. Come cut the cake for me. Zack replied. Coming. Then he spoke to me again. You know, Celine and I have a new drama together. Once it finishes airing, I'll break up with her. Don't overthink it. Tonight, be good and wait at home. I'll bring you your favorite dish. Chapter 6. My thoughts drifted. Zack had entered the entertainment industry after visiting me on set and being noticed by a director, Who invited him to act? At the time, I immediately refused. Zack's dream had been to work in scientific research. If he took on an acting role, he would lose all connection to that path. But I hadn't expected Zack to approach the director in private. Afterwards, he held me, his eyes red, and said, "I don't want you to suffer with me. I want to make a lot of money so your life gets better and better." From that day on, Zack gave up his dream for me and devoted himself to breaking into the entertainment industry. As our schedules got busier, our contact became less and less. When the first scandal about him broke, he took a 5-hour flight overnight to see me, holding me and apologizing, saying it was all a misunderstanding, that he would handle it and I shouldn't overthink. I suggested we make our marriage public. He said it might hurt his career and upset his fans. Now wasn't the right time. But he promised me that I would be his only wife, and the only person by his side. Thinking of his career, I didn't press the issue. Until later, Celine appeared at a banquet. She was targeted for a casting couch deal. While fleeing, she fell into the water, and Zack happened to be there to save her. She seemed like a delicate white flower, pure and innocent, lying drenched in Zack's arms. That night, the two of them shot to the top of the trending charts, with marketing accounts spreading the story wildly. That time, Zack didn't say a single word to me. Chapter 7. When I came back to my senses, Zack's call had already ended. I didn't dwell on it. Instead, I contacted a lawyer to draft a divorce agreement. Before leaving the country, I had to settle everything with Zack. What I didn't expect was that when Zack came home that night, he brought Celine with him, peeking out from behind Zack. Celine's cheeks were flushed. She ran over to me with a grin. "Tada. Amanda, we packed up the leftovers from my birthday party for you. Hurry and eat them." Zack stood there, looking a little helpless. "Slow down, you're drunk. Be careful not to fall." Then he paused and turned to me. "Celine drank a lot tonight. It's not safe for a girl to go home alone. She'll stay here for the night." "Oh right. Your hangover soup is really good, isn't it? Make her a bowl." I just stood there, my ears buzzing, my hands trembling uncontrollably. So, it wasn't enough that he was cheating, he had to bring her here openly? And ask me to make her hangover soup? A girl? Where's her assistant? Celine never went anywhere without 3 or 4 assistants. How could she be alone? At worst, she could stay in a hotel. Zack frowned. "When did you become so petty?" My voice shook despite myself. "This is my house. Get out." Seeing the redness in my eyes, Zack softened his tone. "All right. I'll call someone to take her home now." He took out his phone to make the call, but the next second, a sharp scream rang out. Celine tumbled down the stairs. Zack's face changed instantly. He threw down his phone and ran to her. He was in a panic, so different from his usual calm. "Celine!" She lay in his arms, eyes closed. Zack's face darkened, his gaze stormy as it locked on me. My heart skipped a beat. I blurted out, "It wasn't me." But the next second, his hand struck my face. "Amanda, are you saying Celine fell on her own just to frame you? She's an actress, you know how much her face matters to her." That slap stunned me. It snuffed out the last flicker of light I'd been holding on to. Zack carried Celine and headed for the door. I stopped him. "Wait." I handed him the divorce papers. "Sign this, or you're not leaving." He glared at me in anger. In the past, whenever we argued, I would cling to him, asking him to buy me something, signing bills to make myself feel better. Now, without even looking at what it was, he signed. Then he strode out with Celine in his arms, out of Zack's sight. Celine curled her lips at me in a smug little smirk. Chapter 8. News of Celine's hospitalization shot to the top of the trending searches. In the photos, she had a bandage wrapped around her forehead, lying weakly on the hospital bed while Zack attended to her with meticulous care. The internet was flooded with posts praising how loving the two of them were. Monica, who had been managing me since my debut, knew the truth about me and Zack better than anyone else. She came to me and started cursing Zack without holding back. "Is your visa ready, sis?" Monica nodded. "You'll have it in 3 days. 3 days was just enough time for me to deal with a few other matters. But I didn't expect that on the 3rd day, another post would explode online. Breaking, Best Actress Amanda caught interfering in Zach-Celine's relationship. Breaking, Amanda's failed attempt to harm Celine. I clicked into the trending topic and saw countless gossip accounts frantically reposting two photos. One was of me coming home last night. The other was of Zack and Celine returning together shortly after. The comments section was in chaos. Comment: WTF. What's going on? Why were all three of them going into the same house? Comment: that be ****H Amanda. My friends in the industry and heard Amanda snuck into the film Emperor's house last night. Celine's injury was her doing. Comment: what would Amanda be doing in the film Emperor's house? Comment: stop making things up. What would she sneak in for? The arguments online were endless. Then, one comment shot straight to the top. Top comment: Amanda never had an outside boyfriend, that was all made up. She's been the film Emperor's dream girl for years. When Zack and Celine made their relationship public, Amanda got jealous, snuck into Zack's house, and pushed Celine down the stairs. I have proof, look at these pictures. Amanda used to be one of his biggest fans. When Zack first entered the industry, he barely had any fans. I had visited him on set and even used a secret account to do dedo work for him and help grow his fanbase. I had done all of that in complete secrecy, no one knew except Zack and me. But now, the pictures posted by this user hit me like a punch to the gut. Hands trembling, I called Zack. It took 5 tries before he finally picked up. Zack, was this you? Those pictures, if they weren't from him. I couldn't think of anyone else. There was silence on the other end. After a long pause, I finally heard him say, "You deserved this. The things you said on that variety show made netizens believe Celine was someone's mistress, hurting her reputation and causing her to suffer online abuse. Our relationship announcement wasn't just for our new drama, it was also to restore her name. To make up for your mistake. I thought you'd repent. But instead, you pushed her down the stairs." His words made me laugh until tears nearly spilled. All for my own good? If she's not a mistress, what is she? A pure and noble saint? Amanda, you're being unreasonable. Zack's angry roar cut me off. What's done is done. I don't want your feud with Celine to worsen. Apologize to her, and I'll have her publicly say she forgives you. Then we'll let this go. Let this go? Easy for him to say. Easy enough that it was as if Zack had never been in the entertainment industry. I lifted my head, holding back my tears, ready to tell him exactly what I thought, when another voice came from the phone. Film Emperor. Celine's awake. She wants to see you. I'm coming. Zack's reply was immediate. When I looked at my phone again, the call had already been disconnected. Chapter 9. Zack hurried toward Celine's hospital room. Halfway there, he seemed to remember something and stopped in his tracks. He turned to his assistant and instructed, "Did you buy that necklace I asked for a while ago? The one Amanda once mentioned she liked?" The assistant nodded. "Send it to her." Zack knew Amanda had her pride. Asking her to bow her head to Celine would definitely make her feel wronged. But wronged or not, mistakes had to be punished. Fortunately, she was easy to coax. In the past, whenever she got angry, all it took was buying her something to make it better. Oh, and wasn't there a matching bracelet? Give that one to Celine. Chapter 10. When Zack's assistant came to deliver the necklace, Monica was showing me a live-streamed interview with Celine. In the video, she was lying on a hospital bed while Zack gently tucked in her blanket. A reporter asked, "Celine, have you seen what's been going around online these past few days? Is it true that Amanda tried to steal Zack from you and, failing that, pushed you down the stairs?" Celine forced a smile. "I don't blame her. After all, Zack is exceptional. There are plenty of women who like him." The reporter, enraged, pressed further. "So you mean it's true? Amanda's behavior is disgusting. How is someone like her fit to be a best actress?" Celine just smiled faintly, saying nothing, looking weary. Then the reporter noticed the bracelet on her wrist and exclaimed, "That bracelet looks familiar. Isn't it the one from the European royal family auction recently? I heard there's a matching necklace." Celine glanced at Zack, and the reporters immediately understood. The film Emperor and Celine's relationship is so solid, no one could ever break them apart. Monica, unable to hold back any longer, cursed loudly at the phone screen. She also kicked out the assistant Zack had sent. My agency wasn't one to be trifled with either. Whenever I wasn't filming, I would come home. So the security cameras at the gate had plenty of photos of me entering and leaving. The company released these through multiple gossip accounts. Post, isn't this Amanda's house? She's seen going in and out often. On the other hand, the film Emperor's been spotted here only a handful of times. Post, just because there are 2 photos of 3 people entering the same house doesn't prove Amanda pushed Celine down the stairs. Maybe there's more to the story? Stop jumping to conclusions. At the same time, my agency posted an official clarification. The online sentiment began to shift slightly until Zack personally made a post. Post from Zack, looks like Miss Amanda often sneaks into my house while I'm away to scope the place out. Attached was a photo of a property deed. Chapter 11. In that instant, I felt my blood surge to my head. A roaring filled my ears, and my vision blurred. Before paying off Zack's debts, we had squeezed into a cramped rental together. After clearing the debt, worried he might feel inadequate, I put his name on the deed when I bought this house. At the time, he smiled and told me, Amanda, don't overthink it. I believe in what we have. But now, what we had was nothing more than a blade he used to stab me, hard. Monica was fuming too. She never thought Zack would go this far. Marriage certificate. Post your marriage certificate. Where is it? Zack took it. He'd been the one keeping it. The day we got our marriage license, Zack had been overjoyed, kissing it several times. He said he wanted to frame both copies and keep them safe. Monica fell silent. After a long moment, she asked softly, Amanda, were you 2 really together for 10 years? I gave a bitter smile. Just then, my phone lit up with a message. Bruno, need help? Me, thanks. But no. I turned off my phone and handed Monica a USB drive. Monica, send this out. Chapter 12. That house had surveillance cameras. Zack didn't know. I'm not the kind of person who likes having myself exposed on camera. But after often coming back to an empty home and dealing with harassment from stalkers outside, fear began to creep in, so I had cameras installed. The cameras recorded everything that happened that night. From Zack bringing Celine inside and asking me to make her Sobring soup, to me not even touching Celine, to Celine tumbling down the stairs on her own, and then Zack slapping me immediately afterward. Once the video was released, the entire internet exploded. Comment, whoa, wait. Amanda says in the video the house is hers, and Zack doesn't even deny it? Comment, but wasn't the property deed in Zack's name? Comment, see that? Amanda didn't even touch Celine, how shameless is she? Comment, from the footage, she just hit her forehead a little, yet she stayed in the hospital for days, wasting public resources much. Comment, mind your own business, our Celine paid for it. She can stay as long as she wants. Comment, is Zack really that brainless? Whatever Celine says, he believes? This scumbag's brain might as well be fed to the dogs. Comment, dog, disgusting. Comment, Celine is the film Emperor's girlfriend, of course he'll side with her. Honestly, I think it's handsome that he protects his woman. Comment, so what's the truth about these 3? What actually happened? Monica scrolled through the comments, reading them out loud and cursing Celine as she went. When she got really worked up, she cursed Zack too. After venting, she paused and looked at me. I smiled faintly. It's fine. He and I have nothing to do with each other anymore. Celine's response was quick. She immediately posted a clarification. Celine's post. Sorry for taking up public resources. That night, I was celebrating my birthday, and I got a little too excited and drank too much. Zack was worried I might run into danger going home drunk, so he brought me back to his place for the night. Unexpectedly, we ran into Amanda there. She seemed a bit unstable and insisted the house was hers, even telling us to leave. We realized she might have been emotionally triggered. So to defuse the awkwardness, Zack asked her to make Sobring soup, really to give her a chance to step away. At the time, I remember feeling a push from Amanda's direction. I didn't expect it to be a misunderstanding. I apologize here, but what shocked us was discovering she had secretly installed cameras in the house. Chapter 13. In her hospital room. After posting, Celine's face twisted with anger. That be *TCH Amanda. She never imagined Amanda would have kept such a trump card. When she saw Zack enter, her eyes instantly reddened. Zack. It's my fault. I was drunk that night. I didn't think it would cause such a big misunderstanding. I'll go apologize to Amanda right now. Zack had originally come to confront her, but hearing her explanation and seeing her tearful eyes snuffed out his anger. No need to apologize. You're still injured. I'll talk to her. Just focus on resting. Celine nodded sweetly. You're so kind. I just hope this doesn't affect your relationship. Zack took out his phone and called Amanda. After 4 or 5 tries, she still didn't answer. His brows furrowed. He was sure Amanda was just throwing another little tantrum. He tried calling Monica, no answer either. Just as his irritation mounted, another post shot to the top of the trending list. Amanda's post, there's still a long road ahead, see you all if fate allows. Attached, a formal retirement from industry statement. Zack's pupils contracted sharply. A sudden wave of dread hit him. Text from Zack, Amanda. What are you doing? Why would you quit the industry without discussing it with me? Don't you remember we're married? How can you make decisions on your own? Text from Zack, Amanda. Pick up the phone or I'm really going to lose my temper. Only after sending the messages did he realize he'd been blocked. An inexplicable panic began to spread through him. Celine saw the retirement post too. Her eyes widened, and then a surge of joy rose in her chest. For years in the entertainment industry, Amanda had always been above her. And now, this B*TCH was quitting. That meant Celine could take all the resources for herself. Still, she had to put on a show. Tears welled up, and she jumped out of bed barefoot. Zack, why did Amanda quit? Is it because I upset her? She looked pitiful, enough to tug at anyone's heart. Before, Zack would have scolded her for not taking care of herself. But now, all he felt was a wave of irritation, though he still spoke patiently. It probably has nothing to do with you. She's just proud. Go back to bed and rest. Celine shook her head, crying. No, it must be because of me. Take me to her. I want to apologize. Zack was about to reply when his agent suddenly called. Zack, your secret marriage has been exposed. Zack's eyes went wide, and Celine, close enough to hear, felt her stomach drop. Chapter 14. Right before boarding the plane to go abroad, I took a photo of the divorce agreement and made a post. Some netizens asked what I was having Zack sign in the video. It was a divorce agreement. Sorry for deceiving everyone on the variety show. I don't have a boyfriend outside the industry. Only an ex-husband of 5 years. The house was bought by me, but the deed was in my ex-husband's name. After posting, I turned off my phone and boarded the plane. I didn't expect that. On the plane, I'd run into a familiar face. Senior. What a coincidence. Bruno was wearing a baseball cap and waved at me. He glanced at the ticket in his hand. Senior, I'm sitting next to you. I nodded, stood up from my seat, and let him in. We didn't speak for the entire flight. After landing, Bruno asked, Where are you planning to go, Senior? I tightened my grip on my bag. Just wandering around. Bruno smiled but said nothing more. Chapter 15. I had already thrown away my old SIM card. After getting off the plane, I replaced it with a new one, sent Monica a message to let her know I was safe, and didn't look at any news online. I rented a small apartment and began preparing for school. But on the first day of class, when I saw the professor standing at the lectern, I went silent. Bruno smiled at me. What a coincidence. Senior. After class, Bruno invited me to dinner. He said he had been teaching at this university for the past 5 years. I don't have many classes. If you need any help, you can always come to me. In the past, when he called me senior, I didn't think much of it. But now that he was my professor, that senior sounded all kinds of awkward. Just call me by my name. All right, Amanda. Me. Chapter 16. In the days that followed, I focused entirely on my studies. Time passed quickly, and my relationship with Bruno gradually became more familiar. It's not that I didn't understand his intentions, but in my current state, I had no time, no energy, and no desire to start a new relationship. I found an opportunity to make things clear to him. Bruno smiled. That's your choice, but liking you, that's my choice. You can't control my thoughts too. Can you? Me? Well, he had a point. I really couldn't control that. Still, Bruno never crossed any lines. and our interactions remained calm and normal. Chapter 17. The next time I saw Zack was 3 months later. I was having a meal with Bruno, discussing a project, when Zack appeared at the entrance of the restaurant. After 3 months, his face was covered in stubble, looking completely unkempt and worn down. The moment he saw me, his eyes turned bloodshot. "Amanda, I finally found you." He rushed toward me, trying to hug me, but Bruno stepped in and blocked him. Zack froze for a moment, then glared at Bruno, anger flaring in his eyes. "Move." Bruno gave a cold smile. "Sir, please mind yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. She's my wife. What does that have to do with you?" Zack's eyes widened. Bruno corrected him. "Ex-wife." The moment I saw Zack again, my brow furrowed instinctively. In the past, every time I saw him, I'd feel joy, but now, all I felt was disgust. "Amanda, I didn't know that was a divorce agreement. If I had known, I never would have signed it. It doesn't count." Bruno replied. "Right, because you were too busy tending to your injured little lover." Zack choked, glaring daggers at Bruno. "Amanda, I wasn't thinking straight at the time. We've known each other since we were kids, over 20 years of feelings. Can you really just throw that away?" He stood there, eyes red. In the past, seeing that look would have made my heart ache and soften, but now, all it did was make me feel sick. Bruno added, "Of course you weren't thinking, your whole mind was on your little lover. You had nothing left for Amanda." "Enough," Zack snapped, losing patience. "What happens between my wife and me is none of your business. You have such a huge company under you, if you've got time to meddle here. Maybe your intentions aren't so pure." Zack narrowed his eyes, sizing Bruno up. "I bet you've got ulterior motives." Bruno admitted. "Yeah, I want to pursue Amanda." "Me?" Zack completely lost it. "Shameless." His voice was so loud it drew attention from nearby tables. I slapped him hard across the face. "Zack, when you and Celine publicly announced your relationship while we were still married, did you not think you were shameless? When you slept with her, did you not think you were shameless? When you gave her resources and let her steal my role, did you not think you were shameless? When you two worked together to ruin my reputation online and drive me to the edge, did you not think you were shameless?" The color drained from Zack's face in an instant. His lips trembled. "No. Amanda, I never wanted to destroy you. You were my wife." "I didn't." You knew all along." "Yes, I knew. Celine told me herself. In my previous life, right before I died, Celine had come to gloat and told me. So that's why you." "I'm sorry. It was my fault. That day. I was drunk, I'm sorry. But it was only that one time. I didn't mean it." Bruno cut in. "You meant it. You." "Enough. Zack, whether it was intentional or not doesn't matter anymore." I looked at him. "Because you've already made me feel disgusted. Deeply, utterly disgusted. Find some time to finalize the divorce paperwork." Without waiting for a response, I left. I'd eaten enough anyway. I grabbed my things and walked out of the restaurant. Bruno followed right behind me. Chapter 18. After that day, I never saw Zack again. During that time, I tried contacting him to ask when he would go handle the divorce paperwork, but he never replied. When my patience was wearing thin, Monica called me. "Zack's in jail. He pushed Celine off a high-rise." "Me?" Monica showed me a video. In it, Zack was confronting Celine. "Didn't we agree not to tell Amanda? Why did you?" He slapped Celine across the face and grabbed her by the neck. Celine begged for mercy, swearing she hadn't broken their agreement. But Zack didn't believe her. He pushed her off the building. "Didn't you once falsely accuse Amanda of pushing you? Well, now it's real, only this time. I'm doing it for her." The building wasn't extremely high, but not low either. Celine was unlucky. She landed on a steel rebar sticking out of the concrete. It damaged her nerves, leaving her completely paralyzed. She had already ruined her reputation for what she'd done with Zack, and had to pay huge penalty fees. Now paralyzed, she couldn't even afford medical treatment. Her parents simply abandoned her. Zack was charged with attempted murder and imprisoned. When I learned about it, I was surprised, but not shocked, because after the turmoil in his family, Zack's mind had already started to twist. In the past, I refused to let go of him. I kept trying to pull him back. Monica told me, a lot of fans who used to curse you found out you'd been played by Celine and Zack. They've been camping out to throw rotten eggs at the two of them. Even now, some have gone to Celine's hospital room, cursing that she deserved it and throwing rotten cabbages at her. But since no one is caring for her and she can't move, she just has to endure it. By the time doctors and nurses found out, she smelled so bad it was unbearable. And a lot of fans are asking if you'll return to the entertainment industry. What do you think? I smiled. I'm not going back. My life right now is pretty good. Although I no longer had any family, I had made many new friends at my new school. My new life had just begun. Chapter 19, Bruno's Side Story. I first met Amanda when we started university. She was cheerful and bright, the vice president of the student union. I'd often see her feeding stray animals on the roadside. Her family wasn't well off, and she had a huge burden to take care of. Sometimes she would have nothing but a plain bun for lunch, yet she'd still break it in half to share with a stray kitten. The kitten seemed a bit picky, but still ate it. That smile of hers left a deep imprint on my mind. In our senior year, we both received the opportunity to study abroad at University A. I wasn't interested at first, but when I heard she was going, I decided to go too. When school started, I was ready for a chance hometown reunion with her, but I searched the whole campus and didn't see her. After asking around, I learned she had given up the offer. I thought maybe she was worried about tuition, so I planned to sponsor her anonymously, but it turned out it was because of that burden she carried. The first time I met him, I didn't like him, and my instincts were right. Later, we both entered the entertainment industry. She shone brightly, while I took a position at University A. Though I never actually taught a class, she rarely appeared on variety shows, but I watched every single drama she acted in. I even went to pick her up at the airport in private. I had my company's endorsement team contact her, but she turned it down, giving it instead to that burden of hers. At that time, I really wanted to blacklist him, but I held back. Because he was someone she cared about. I didn't want to make her sad. But that shameless man didn't cherish her. He even cheated during their marriage. When I saw her being bullied on a live stream, I couldn't hold back and stepped in to defend her. She kept her distance from me, but I was still happy because I finally got her contact information again. We had added each other in university, but she no longer used that account. I didn't expect that the shameless man and that disgusting White Lotus would attack her so viciously, throwing dirt on her name again and again. I couldn't help but contact her, wanting to help, but she told me she didn't need it. Later, I thought about acting first and telling her later, but then I saw her post the divorce agreement and her retirement from the industry. At that moment, a thought flashed through my mind. Could she be? I made some inquiries, found out her flight, and bought the seat next to hers. Even though we didn't talk much on the flight, I was satisfied. As I guessed, she enrolled at University A after arriving abroad. That's when I was truly grateful for my position there. I became her professor. She was still distant, but it was much better than before. I knew she had been hurt, and she wouldn't open her heart easily, but I won't give up. After all, I've already waited so many years.